Welcome to Faith Fiction and or Folklore and the Triad podcast, where we try not to end the podcast up. And today we are talking about the Gary. What are we talking about?
We are talking about Roger Avery doing an interview with Alex Jones, because apparently his interview of Joe Rogan went exceedingly well. So that's our next subject. Roger Avery.
So he's a good interviewee.
Yes, and he talks a lot about the Hollywood blackmail. And what I liked about this is, speaking of this dichotomous thing that you don't like, is he mentions how like basically everything is a narrative. Like there's so many factions and they're all fighting for control of Hollywood because everything's about how you frame a problem. So, for example, just to make people angry, because it's politically contentious, I guess, if you look at immigration, have whatever opinion you want, but don't you think it's a little weird that it's always like deport them or open borders? Nobody ever says anything like, well, why don't we just throw them in jail for a couple of years and then let them out? Or how about we tax them? Or how about we pay them a fine? Or how about, whatever variety of solution there might be. Any like middle ground solution or any other kind of solution is instantly shut up. It's always you either deport them, all of them, or you're for open borders and you hate America or whatever. But it's the dichotomy. It's the, Hegelian, I think is the word Jones uses, the Hegelian dialectic.
Hegelian dialectic.
Thank you. So it's like that with everything. It's always like two solutions, never any other kind of solution. No, let them fight. And that's on purpose, because it's the CIA. And demons, and parasites, whatever you want to call them. So
it's all the same thing.
It's all the same thing. People are like, these guys are nuts. Anyway, so... Yeah.
So what does Pulp Fiction have to do with anything Alex Jones is talking about? Please enlighten me.
He wrote it. The guy Roger Avery helped write Pulp Fiction. So I was like, hey, I know that movie. That's a big fish talking to Alex Jones. So I was interested.
Yeah. So what's he talking about?
He's talking about what we just talked about, the narrative setting, how Hollywood is used for narrative setting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we're fishing.
So the Pulp Fiction has nothing to do with it.
Well, it's part of his credentials, so he's a Hollywood insider. Right. So, but no, nothing beyond that. I mean, I'm not giving a what's the word? A critique of Pulp Fiction and its relevance to society. I'm actually doing that with AI, artificial intelligence. I hate that movie. It's awful.
I've never seen it.
It's terrible.
I dressed up like it. Me and Callie did for Halloween one year.
AI?
And then No, Pulp Fiction.
Oh, okay.
She dressed up like Uma Thurman, and I was that one guy.
Travolta?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. He didn't go well in that movie. That's all I remember. Yeah, I remember the way Bruce Willis took him out. That was I was like, that's not the way I thought that character would go. They gave him way too much screen time for something like that, but oh well.
Bruce Willis is apparently pretty screwed up.
Yeah, he's not doing too well, I hear, which is unfortunate.
And all that dementia and whatnot.
Yeah, sad day. Are you boys ready?
Let's do it. No.
No? Well, we're going to do it anyway.
A squirrel or something. If you're not part of that group, if you're the one kid who's not part of it and you don't and you recognize that it's morally wrong and you separate yourself from that group, you are now outside of that group. Where I started, looking around and I started, realizing that there was this kind of echo chamber in Hollywood, and I just definitely was not part of that. And then this most recent revelation with all of the Epstein papers coming out, and I started reading those as well. And then with what happened with COVID, and and I had been working on a script about this virologist in Manitoba, in Winnipeg, and I was writing a screenplay about her, and she's a Chinese virologist who was the person who had developed the inoculations for leprosy. And it was a huge success, big, huge success. You know, Chinese company is manufacturing all that stuff in California. And I was writing a story kind of about, you know, what it's like to be a rock star and you have a hit and then you're looking for your next hit. And I started noticing that, and there was all these articles that have since been, you know, somewhat suppressed. I think it was in the Winnipeg Free Press, where or City Press, and where she had been caught by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police shipping various copyrighted viruses like, you know, Hanta and you know, all of them,
which, by the way, appeared to be souped up versions.
Yeah, souped up versions, and they were shipping them directly from Winnipeg to Wuhan on Air Canada freight. And then the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, you know, there's all the, you know, they have to, you know, everything's published, but they've redacted who her financier was. And when I started doing the research on it, I realized, well, it's one of three people, and those guys are the obvious people who you would think. And then suddenly I started realizing this is really nefarious. And then when COVID hit and they left the Kowloon Bridge open on purpose, you know, during Chinese New Year when this was happening, you know, just kind of allowing everybody to flow out. And, you know, all the stuff that was happening during that time, it was like, this is intentional. This is, you know, the first time it's happenstance, the second time it's coincidence, the third time it's enemy attack. And I started realizing, oh, we're under enemy attack. And then the way our own local California government was behaving at that time, how they were, you know, quarantining people on army bases, but then allowing people to go in and out of those quarantine areas. It was almost like no one is that stupid. And yeah, that was her. And so I was writing a script about her. And so I started realizing no one is that stupid. This is intentional. We're intentionally doing this. And then everything just kind of, and look at this ridiculousness that we.
Yeah, we probably should just pause and focus on that stupid. I can't believe they did that. I still can't believe, it's been a year. I still can't believe they did that.
Did what?
Had those kids in those stupid tents. You know, the stupid face masks and all the quarantining crap that they did with COVID.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, I still just look at that from time to time, and I'm just astonished that things went that far. I get flashbacks to Seattle every time I think about it. So, it's like, oh my gosh.
I think I wore a mask once. It was because I drove 2 hours to take my wife to a specific store, and they made us wear a mask. I was like, I'm not going to get kicked out of somewhere that I drove 2 hours to come to, you know.
Yeah, my wife made me feel a little better. She got me a fake mask, quote unquote. It was basically like this transparent fishnet that had a drawstring on it, like it was obviously a fake mask. But, you know, the guards couldn't say, the guards, you know, the Gestapo at the ferry, they couldn't say anything because, you know, it was technically a mask, you know.
It's like, what is a mask? You know?
It's a swastika. That's what it was. It was
exactly
it's
what
like,
it is.
we're going to make all you little effers be Democrats for a couple of years.
I actually made a meme that had a picture of a bunch of Jews with the armband, and then below it had a bunch of pictures of people with masks.
You know, the worst part is we look stupider.
Back in 2020.
You know, we were literally the retarded Nazis for about 2 years. So it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing that this country did that. And we all had to participate lest we lose our jobs. I'm like, I hope our kids consider us the flat earthers of our day. I hope our children look back and realize just how stupid we were. So, anyway, I hope they loathe us. I really do. I hope our children loathe us. But anyway, Trevor, you got any thoughts?
I ordered a cool Joker scary mask.
Oh, did you?
So when I would go to Walmart, I had this just full teeth Joker. walking into Walmart,
I
creep
think
people out.
the favorite thing I saw, my favorite scene that I saw during that time was somebody walked into the Cassville Walmart with a werewolf mask on. That did make me happy. Like they had the full-blown rubber werewolf mask and they just walked through Walmart with it. I thought, all right, good idea, good sir, touche. So anyway,
That's awesome.
yeah. All right, I'll move on. Let's see if he actually gets to what I'm
that we went
Swear
through
I
as a
heard.
culture. And this was so, it hammered on us and damaged us so badly. And then I started realizing, because I'm a movie guy, that that there were clues. There was the Soderbergh movie that had come out, Contagion, where basically they are talking about is it cautionary? Are they cautioning us at this?
Okay, so this is where we're getting into it. So this is predictive programming. He's talking about the movie. Hang on, I'm going to show it because it helps if you see it. He's talking about the movie Contagion, which was starring Dustin Hoffman, I believe. So, Contagion movie. No, I'm wrong. This is this had a big, long, star-studded cast. Hang on a minute here.
Was it Mark Wahlberg?
It was Lawrence Fishburne and Gwyneth Paltrow and Mark Wahlberg was in it. Jude Law was in it.
Oh, okay.
Rachel Weisz, yeah. Then Gwyneth Paltrow, she dies horribly in that film. So, yeah. So this is the movie he's referring to. There's also the movie Outbreak. So he's talking about predictive programming, where, oh hey, it happened in China. How about that? Freaking CIA. Anyway. So yeah, they were.
What was the guy's name that made it?
I'm Matt Damon.
Let's see who made this. Let's look here.
Soderbergh.
Scott Z. Burns, and directed by Soderbergh.
Soderbergh. Sodomy and Berg. Just throw that out there.
It has been thrown out. Yes,
Do with that what you will.
indubitably. Yeah, I thought this was a stupid movie at the time. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hey, it looks a lot like the COVID virus, too. How about that? Freaking jerks.
It's almost like when you sell fear, it all looks the same.
Yeah.
Didn't they already know about it, like, in 2016?
Yeah, they knew about it, I think, as far back as 2014. I think that's when the research began, was 2014. So when did this come out? Does it say 2011? Yeah.
Whoa.
This was what was this? Its popularities went down 2000. Eat it. Anyway. No, they had a UN plan. What does Jones call it? It's like one of those UN. Yeah, the UN had like an agenda
2030.
Yeah, 2030 or something like that. You're right.
There's something
right.
else?
There's a million of them. They have all sorts of agendas. Let's look it up. Okay. I'm going to go to Yandex. There's no way Google's going to answer that question. All right, hang on here. What agenda, your UN agenda? Supposedly mentioned COVID-19 and forced vaccinations. Yeah, you're right. 2030. It was Agenda 2030. And this is the website. I'm sorry. I appreciate the website here. Hang on, let me show it real quick. Wickedtruths.org. Wickedtruths.org. Yeah, by 2030, you will own nothing and be happy. I don't think it's going well, but oh, dude, maybe we should do an episode of this sometime. But there's actually, you know, those in that freaking creepy commercial, you will own nothing and be happy. There's a
Be happy.
Yeah, there's a depiction of drones dropping off groceries in front of people's houses. We have one of those in Pea Ridge. Like, I don't see how in the world it makes any money, but yeah, they set one of those up in preparation for this crap.
Yeah.
Like, it was on purpose. I don't know why people haven't been lined up and killed via firing squad. Like, this is insane that these people are still alive because it was clearly on purpose.
Yep.
Like, I am like desperately longing for justice here. But anyway, so yeah, that's the movie.
You'll never get it.
What's that line in Game of Thrones? What you
I don't know, I never
make?
watched
You
it.
make justice, something like that. Anyway, but that's all I can probably say legally, so we'll just leave that alone.
This is going to happen, or are they preparing us that it's going to happen through revelation of the method?
And then the documents
Which
come
is-
out that it was psychological warfare run by the defense ministries, Canada, the U.S., the UK, to scare us to create this new civilization, to train us for carbon lockdowns in the future. So you, like many others, were already somewhat awake, but COVID and all of it with what you already knew was so obvious, and now it's confirmed that pushed you over the edge. And they thought Disease X and all their Rockefeller documents going back 30 years would bring in their world government. Instead, they now admit at Davos, it's destroyed them, it's discredited them. No one believes anything they say now.
Let's evaluate that. What do you guys think? Do you think nobody believes these clowns anymore? Do you think COVID broke their power? Did everybody realize they were lying?
Yeah, I think
No.
they overplayed their hand.
You think so?
I mean, there's a sucker born every day, as they say.
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
So-
Sorry, go on, Cody.
Everybody's on their own personal journey, man. There's always going to be stupid people that fall for stuff.
Yeah. What do you think, Trevor?
Yeah, there's still a couple guys at work that I know of for sure that still believe it. Like
Really?
everything they hear on the news.
Yeah, I think most people
And
are.
you can't argue with them or like try and talk to them. They don't want to hear it.
Oh, they've doubled down.
Yeah.
What was it Mark Twain said? It's really easy to lie to somebody, but it's very hard to convince somebody they've been lied to.
No.
So, I made
That's a fact, Jack.
That's a fact, Jack. I did make somebody very, very. I think I made them angry. I think I made somebody very angry one time when I said the masks were swastikas. It's like, you realize that, right? They were there to declare your allegiance to Uncle Sam. They're freaking swastikas. They were serving the same purpose. That didn't sit well with certain people, but so I don't guess not everybody's figured it out. But I do think most people have figured it out. I do think
Yeah.
the majority of people realize they were lied to. So
I think there's enough people that get it. I mean, man, I don't know. It could happen again. Who knows?
I'm gonna be livid if it happens again. I will literally be slapping people. If I see a mask again, I'm just gonna come up and start slapping. I'm like, what are you
I've
doing?
seen several.
Wake up.
Yes. I saw several last week.
Really? Why? Were they government
no
workers?
idea. No.
You know,
I thought about asking, is there a new COVID out or something? Why are these people wearing masks?
they just want you to really know that, which side of the political aisle they're on. They want you to really understand who they're voting for, I guess.
Yeah. I guess, man.
Insane.
And thank God. I mean, this was an attack on the people, and I'm one of those people. And so when I kind of realized this and what was going on, and then I started looking around, and all my friends and everybody, they're all just happily getting shots, and now they're just dying left and right, and so when this started happening. I started, I think, forming a much heavier.
Yeah. Are you seeing anybody who had negative ramifications from the jibbies? The needle?
Yeah. Most people don't admit it, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. We knew people that got negatively affected.
They'd be like, oh, it was from COVID or,
Yeah, anything else except
willful ignorance.
right. Yeah. Trevor, what about you?
As far as like personally, no. I know a few people that got the shots and stupid jabs, but I don't they didn't have any symptoms or anything from it.
Well, I think some people got saline shots. But
That's true. Yeah, I've heard that it was kind of mixed. But knew a girl
But
that
I
got.
I did see on I think it was TikTok a boy, young man. He was really healthy, and he started posting. He got the shot, and then like he was healthy as a horse, and then after the shot, he was put in the hospital, and he died
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
from getting the shot, and they actually banned his channel.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
They knew it was on purpose. There should be consequences.
Your distrust of authority. And then I started thinking about it. I started looking at various movies and seeing the patterns and how it happened. And I think the one that I mentioned on Joe Rogan was Fight Club, made by a guy who's a commercial director. They hired a guy who makes commercials to make a big commercial that is effectively selling what's going to happen. And the movie itself is a manifesto. It's a manifesto about bringing down the financial system, and the buildings all collapse. And when you look at what happened 1 year after Fight Club came out, it was 9/11. And then you start looking at, well, who produced Fight Club? And that was Arnon Milchan. And Arnon has openly admitted, this is not me saying it, this is him saying it, that he's a Mossad guy. He's a Mossad agent. And that and an arms dealer. That's what Fincher used to call him, was, oh, my movie was produced by an arms dealer, like jokingly. And and so then I start looking at Arnon Milchan's other movies, and he did this movie called Medusa Touch with George C. Scott. I think Lee Remick is in it. And in that movie, again, airplanes are crashing into buildings. And okay, so then I think I mentioned on Joe Rogan that at one point, very early in my career, I had been through John Milius, brought in on a little DOD weekend where we were all going to get together, and they got a bunch of writers together, and they put us in a little tiny ballroom type thing in Long Beach, and we all wrote scenarios for how to attack Los Angeles, under the guise of this is if we come up with ideas on how to attack Los Angeles, we can come up with preventions for it, which sounds good to me. But like, again, I was young and naive at that time, and as I look back on that, I realize how nefarious that was. And now,
by the way, because I remember articles 20 years ago that even came out. I'm kind of jumping the gun. I don't know if this is what you say you're saying, where it turned out they were telling top writers, maybe it have been you they're talking about, at these DOD-funded camps where you thought you were fighting terror, that they were actually going to use that for scenarios for training and or false flags.
That's exactly what it was. And so so I was, when I started putting all this together in my head and realizing what a useful idiot I had been, throughout much of my career. Yeah,
they got a top writer, one of the best in the world, for free, writing them scripts for stuff they want to either psychologically say or do.
Yeah, effectively for free. And so that was kind of like a third eye opened up in my head, and I started realizing all of this. And this was also at a time where I started approaching my faith in a much deeper way. And my
Just imagine that. You got some FBI going, hey, we want you to imagine a war game. Just pretend. Imagine the most elaborate terrorism scenario you could think of. Why? We're going to practice with it. Sure you're not going to use it? No, we'll be right. We would never.
Oh.
No, it's okay. You'll be a hero. So, it's just...
Yeah, it's pretty, like you said, nefarious, man.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
And then they can video these people coming up with these war games, and they use that as blackmail to make them do shit.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yeah. It's all a big blackmail racket.
Yep.
Belief in God in a much deeper way. Like there it is, 9/11. So this is the revelation of the method where
2 years before they did it on The Simpsons and everywhere. And people asked how I predicted it. It was a lot of things in the media saying Bin Laden's going to hit us and all this. I knew the FBI had helped bomb the World Trade Center in 92. I interviewed Ahmad Salam, so I had all this data. But then I started having nightmares of the towers on fire being blown up, and it was the collective unconscious. It wasn't that my unconscious was more powerful than my conscious. So I just said they're going to blow up the World Trade Center, they're going to blame Bin Laden, they're going to fly planes into it. And I didn't even know that right around the time I was doing that, because I didn't watch a lot of TV, they had a lone gunman X-Files reboot where the government hijacks a jumbo jet, a small group, to fly to the World Trade Center to go to war in the Middle East, in Afghanistan. And then I got a few years later contacted by Chris Carter, by some of the people on the show, never met him in person, but talked to an email on the phone. And they said, listen, the CIA came to us at parties and said sometimes, you ought to do a story on this. So instead of Chris Carter writing a story for them, they came and gave him the idea. And people, when I talked about it, said, that's a lie. They talked to Carter and he goes, no, Alex Jones is a good guy. He's not a racist like they say. This is like 2016. He goes, and that did happen. So again, how crazy is that?
Yeah, exactly. And by the way,
On this subject, I just want to bring something up because I've been staring at, I don't know if you can see the screen, but on the live stream screen, you've got this stupid box that's been blocking the chat. And if you look down at the bottom of the stupid box that I've been trying to remove for half an hour during this live stream, at the bottom of the chat, it says, new managing moderators can support your channel in even more ways. Can you think of a more corporate way to say they're going to censor the crap out of you? Because that's what we want. That's what we want. We want more moderators. We want more people micromanaging whatever freaking word pops in somebody's head. Pretty soon, they'll be censoring emojis out of boredom. But, you know, they're on your side. They're there to freaking help you, guys.
Yeah.
They're your allies. Hang on a minute. I'm going to try to get the whole thing pulled up.
You should be able to hit no thanks on it or something like that.
They won't let me. I have clicked close. I've turned off the moderating function because screw these communists. But just so you know, this is going to be awkwardly placed in front of everybody as soon as I actually get this positioned right because everything's fighting me.
Do you want me to try and log out?
No, you're good.
Moderators.
No, you don't need to see my face. I'm just going to do this for a second. But look at this. New managing moderators can support your channel in even more ways. Introducing managing moderators. These users have the same capabilities as standard moderators, but in addition, they can manage blocked words and change chat modes in live. Because you're all a bunch of disgusting communists. I don't believe for a second that you need to be blocking these words. You people are vile. You're probably going to be rooting for a genocide in your smoke-filled room at some point. Anyway, I just wanted to read that because I have been screwing with that freaking box for a half an hour. And it's just letting me know that they're going to censor the crap out of me. You got to love these freaking communists.
Wow.
You've never tried real communism, though.
No, it's never been done before. Ever. They'll get it right one day.
One of these times.
Yeah. Just got to trust them. Just got to trust them a little bit longer. Hang on a minute. I got to adjust this stupid...
Only a true Scotsman.
Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out. I've been sitting there staring at it, just getting angrier and angrier. So... Anyway. All right. Bins2K looks gives the eye emoji. I agree. It's like, these people are awful. They're freaking awful. Anyway. Okay, back to your originally scheduled
What do you mean,
program.
these people?
I mean communists. I mean the vile people at YouTube. What do you mean, these people?
I don't know. Who owns YouTube?
Who owns YouTube? I have no
Google.
idea.
Google
Google,
owns YouTube.
and then somebody owns Google. They're communists. Who cares?
It's called Alphabet Inc.
Alphabet Inc. There you go. I didn't actually.
Alphabet owns YouTube?
Alphabet owns Google, which owns YouTube.
Who owns Alphabet?
The CEO of Alphabet. I don't remember his name.
I didn't know
Okay.
there was a company called Alphabet. Shows.
Yeah, it's called Alphabet Inc. Let me see if I can find it.
All right, yeah, go ahead and Google it. So while you're doing that, Beans to Calyx says the you people. There you go.
What do you mean, you people?
That's such
What
a
do
great
you
movie.
mean, you people?
Such a great movie.
Man, I love that movie, dude.
It's such a great movie. Yeah, I do
It's
too.
so good.
Oh my goodness, you're right. Yeah, that's
It's
really
like
good.
it's like one of the best movies ever made.
I know. I watched that when I was in a repertory theater company thing, and it was.
Do you
it
want
was
me to
great.
read it or send it to you or?
Who owns Alphabet?
Yeah,
No,
just send me a link, and
okay.
I'll pull it
Well,
up.
I was just gonna read it real quick.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead and read it then. That's fine.
Alphabet Inc. is the parent company of Google, created on October 2nd, 2015, to oversee Google and its subsidiaries. The largest shareholders of Alphabet include Vanguard, BlackRock, Larry Page, Sergey Brin, and Eric Schmidt.
All the usual suspects I see. It's always the same guys. Oh
Yep.
my
Yeah,
gosh.
because I was trying to get into doing maybe a little bit of stocks, and I like YouTube,
Uh-huh.
so I thought I would buy into YouTube stock, and I was like, well,
Yeah.
to do that, I have to find who owns YouTube, and Google owns YouTube. So I was like, well, I guess I'll buy into Google. And then it said Alphabet Inc. I'm like, oh, that's weird. Who owns that? Rabbit hole. It's a huge rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's all the same bad, evil actors everywhere. Vanguard and BlackRock. They're buying your houses and censoring your words. Absolutely terrible companies. Need to burn. But anyway. All right, let's... do we want to go on with this, or we want to move on to the next thing? Because he's talking
Where
about
we at?
predictive programming right now. And I kind of broke up the momentum with that stupid moderator thing.
I mean, I don't know. We all get predictive programming.
Yeah. Well, we'll give it... How about this? We'll give it another 2 minutes, then we'll head on to segment 4.
All right,
Give him a final thought.
You know, it seems like a lot of people, when you get to a certain level, you start having a handler. You start having a CIA handler, and
That's what
I
I was
got to know
wondering,
mine. He's a pretty nice guy.
Wow, tell me about this.
But,
Whoa. Tell us about this.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you about this and other things. I mean, you know, once you befriend the people of power, let's say, and you start getting on people's radar, at a certain point, it's like, you know what? It doesn't cost anything. Let's put somebody on Avery, and let's watch him, and just make sure that, you know, Avery is, you know, remaining in his predefined frame, and not deviating too far from it. And
I just want to pause and say this is a mainstream Hollywood guy. This is not some unknown character. He has been an established part of Hollywood for forever, and he is telling you that he has his very own pet CIA agent. Just want to let that sink in.
So he's right
Yep.
in the middle of it.
Yeah. This is one of the big dogs saying the CIA, make sure you stay within your frame, which is controlling narrative. It's just disgusting. It's amazing and disgusting.
you know, so
Makes-
there's a group
makes
of
me
guys
wonder-
actually, and
What'd you say?
Makes me wonder who my CIA operative it is.
Oh, I'm sure we all have one, you know. It's probably somebody who's like, you know, on probation or something, because we can't be that interesting. So,
Right.
anyway.
you know, to begin with, and you know, you get to know these people, and you know, for a while, I was paranoid about it, but then I kind of got used to it, and I realized that just I don't know if I'm still on any list, but or need to be watched. Probably, more recently, I am, but I get calls from him every now and then, advising me on stuff and saying, hey, you might not want to talk about this. Why not talk about this instead? And and stuff like that. And
well, I remember former NSA, NCIA. What was his name? Michael Hayden, in a speech like 10 years ago, goes, we don't spy on bad people. We spy on interesting people.
Yeah, well, and they told me at one point, look, don't try to lose us.
My taxpayer dollars were supposed to make sure you spied on bad people. Not just saying.
Well,
didn't really work out, though, did it?
If you think about it, the government, they whether they're supposed to or not, they end up having the power to pick the people that they want for the jobs that they need filled.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually it comes down to a big giant recruiting operation.
Pretty much, yeah.
And so they've like got us like tracked down to like our bloodline. They like know what incarnation are gonna happen next, and it's ridiculous. And so they're like, we need that guy.
But at the same time, they make
But
sure.
yeah, that's what all those like.
Yeah.
Those special programs at schools and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's hunting.
Yeah, but at the same time, you've got to make sure you stay in your lane. Remember, you gotta be smart, but you gotta obey them without question. So. Yeah.
Because frequently your surveillance will be there to protect you. And he gave me a scenario where this had happened once, where some guy got jumped by a gang, and they had to move in to protect their, because they're surveilling.
No, I had the CIA try that with me. They're like, hey, your wife's cheating on you. Here's the hotel. And I'm just like, and I go there and it's happening. I'm like, God. They're like, we want to help you now. See how the surveillance is good.
But
told that story. Oh God, I'm out of control, folks. But this is how it works. Because they're like, we're here to serve you. We're here to serve you. We're here to serve you. Yeah.
And it's all part of soft power control. I got invited to this dinner that was being thrown by a bunch of like the Palantir guys. And, I go to this, this meal in a private club and in a private room, big private room with a banquet table. And, there's all the people you would imagine would be there. Oh, like there's the Top Gun guys, and, there's so-and-so, and there's this director. And I was thinking, why am I here? And basically, they got up and they made a very good speech, which was what happened to, and it was actually Shyam Sankar, the CTO of Palantir, got up and basically made a plea. What happened to the American cinematic universe? And he wrote an essay about this called The American Cinematic Universe. What happened to The Hunt for Red October? Die Hard, these movies that were supportive, one could say, of, Die Hard supportive of law enforcement, even though it kind of makes fun of the FBI, and even though it's making fun of like kind of the goofiness of the LAPD and stuff like that. It looks at the individuals of law enforcement, and it makes them the heroes of the movie.
But it humanizes them. It humanizes them.
It humanizes them. And then you look at Hunt for Red October, and it's about a CIA analyst who basically has to like drops himself into the Arctic Ocean to be able to board the submarine so that he can help stop nuclear war, because they're trying to create this handshake between the Russians and the Americans through Sean Connery's submarine captain turning over this submarine. And so this is like, it's a Tom Clancy. I think it's a Tom Clancy novel. And so, this is Hollywood doing what Hollywood did best, which
By the
was,
way, I knew the CIA manager that gave them the classified info on real things that happened that's based on, that's Steve Pachenik.
Yeah, exactly. And so, it's all of his stuff is based on actual documents and these scenarios and stuff like that they read. And so and so their plea was like, look, we're gathering everybody together because this is what we want to do. We want to regain soft power, because somewhere along the way soft power got co-opted and taken control over by this other group. And, I have a very powerful director friend who I'm very close to, who kind of was laughing about it. And he said, because I said, oh, yeah, there's probably a dinner going on in some other room somewhere else in Los Angeles with another group, and they're trying to do the opposite. And he laughed and he said, oh, you mean like knocking over the apple cart, playfully. And and so that's when I suddenly realized, oh my God, there's all these power groups attempting to control narrative. I mean, I always thought movies were just movies. But
So there you go. That's a good line to end it on. I always thought movies were just movies. Most of it's propaganda, meant to turn you into a hedonistic idiot.
90%. That's what I like about Tropic Thunder. I don't think it's that at all.
Probably not. I think there's always like groups that are challenging, whatever.
Tropic Thunder was like it was a real art piece.
Yeah, you could call it that. That nose candy, that giant pile of nose candy. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. Yeah. That was great. Okay.
Hysterical.
All right. Well, we're gonna move on to segment 4, unless you guys got final thoughts.
I never do.
That's unfortunate. Oh well. Trevor, how about you?
Finality is a thought.
Well, guys, if you want to watch this is on band.video. The full interview is titled "The Avant-Garde Writer." Director Roger Avery joins Alex Jones to discuss his awakening to the satanic globalist mind control cult that runs Hollywood, the deep state, and most of the world. So I found it very interesting. I'm kind of a film nerd, so I guess I found the other stuff interesting too. At the very least, didn't notice it. But anyway.
Yeah.
So it took a while to get there, but we did get where I wanted to go. So anyway, that's the video. If you want to watch the rest of it, highly recommend it. It was good. So we're moving on to segment 4. So if you're on the live stream, stay with us. If you are watching this after the fact, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Deuces.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Faith, Fiction, and Folklore. If you did, we would love it if you would subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Rumble. We can also be found on X, Instagram, and Facebook. And we are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. Thank you again very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.